Hey there, welcome everybody to our 2016 Mets replay. We're in game 122. Mets are 66 and 55, about seven games better than they were in actuality. It's going to be Seth Lugo against Johnny Cueto. And pulling the lineups, the Mets have three players back that haven't been playing lately. Yoenis Cespedes is back in left field and batting fourth. Curtis Granderson in center field. Cabrera back at shortstop. Ray is back at third base. So there's been a bunch of injuries here. Nunez, Panic. Okay, so pretty much the San Francisco lineup is the same as it was on day one. They pretty much, the first game, which the Mets lost, they lost it by a score of, oh no, actually they won it. Excuse me. They won it. It was a DeGrom victory by a score of 4-1. This is the second game of a four-game series. And it's a 2. Gone is a 3 in left field. But we're playing basic just to keep it moving, keep it simple. I'm not really familiar with advanced or super advanced. I mean, I'll be honest with you, half the season I played advanced. I really like advanced, and it's real simple. Except it's not as, I feel that it slows me down just a little bit, and I want to get through 162 games. Okay, so we're going to get started. It's going to be, the lineups are together. I put the lineups together. And Reyes is actually a 2. He's been graded a 2 at third base. Kelly Johnson is playing second. Walker is out. Bruce is in right field, batting third and playing batting third. Batting fourth and playing left field is Cespedes, a 2. Loney bats fifth. Plays third base, a 3. Granderson in center field. Batting sixth, a 3. Batting seventh is Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop, a 2. Rene Rivera, the catcher, batting eighth. And Seth Lugo, the pitcher, will be batting ninth, and he's going to be using a batting card number 3. Now, Lugo was 5-2 with a 2.67 ERA in 8 starts. This is one of his 8 starts. And Johnny Cueto was 18-5 with a 2.79 ERA. So the Mets are going to really have to bear down today, see what they can do against Cueto, who pretty good stats for 2016. Let's get started. Here's the first pitch to Reyes, Jose Reyes, 2-4, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. And that's going to be Spawn, or Span. I always call him Spawn. My son corrects me, he says, it's Span. Okay, Span like pan. Kelly Johnson is going to be off of Cueto's card, a 4-7. That's a strikeout, so Kelly Johnson down on strikes. And Kelly Johnson's from about an hour and a half away from where I am. He's from Austin, Texas. I'm not sure. I think he's retired at this point. And it's Jay Bruce, 4-4. That's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is a 2. A 2, that's a 6. That's a ball that Span runs down for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. No score. And the Giants coming to bat. Denard Span, 1-9, and that's a single up the middle through to center field. Span is on at first. 4-5. It's going to be off of Lugo. A 4-5 is going to be a ground ball, hard hit, right at the shortstop. It's a 2x. He's a 2. We rolled a 4, and that's going to be a runners advance one base. So in the hole, there's only one play for Cabrera, and that's the first, and Span moves to second. So it's Brandon Belt. 4-6, and that's a strikeout. Out number 2. And Buster Posey, the cleanup batter. Buster Posey batted .288 with 14 home runs, and that's a 4-3. It's a ground ball right to Loney playing first. Takes it himself for out number 3. Giants lead 1 on after 1 inning of play, no score. Going to the top of the second. It's going to be Yoenis Cespedes back after about a month on the injured list. And it's a 4-8. 4-8 is a split die line drive caught by the first baseman, Belt. So Cespedes is robbed. And it's 2-4 to James Loney, and that's a pop-up to the right side. Out number 2. That's the Joe Panic. And it's a 4-11, again off Cueto's card, and that's a ground ball. Belt is a 1 at first base. That's a 19. We got to roll again. We rolled a 7. Oh, and Belt boots it. So Granderson is on at first. And it's going to be Cabrera. And that's a 3-6. A 3-6. That's going to be lying into the gap, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. They're going to wave Granderson around. And that's a 19, and here's the throw, and he's out at home for the third out. So Cabrera, with a double, loses the opportunity to drive in a run, and Granderson is thrown out at the plate. So we go to the bottom of the second, no score. It's Crawford, Pence, and Nunez. Brandon Crawford, 6'8", and that's going to be ball 4, so Crawford is on with a walk. Next is Hunter Pence, 4'9". That's going to be a split die. That's lined into center field. Oh, split die, and that's a 2, and that's going to be a double. A double, and they're going to wave Crawford around. And he scores. So the Giants are up 1-0. It's a RBI double by Hunter Pence off of Seth Lugo. So Pence is on at second. There's nobody out, and it's Nunez. 3-6. 3-6 is line drive base hit for Nunez. And Pence is going to try to score. And Pence is safe at home. RBI single for Nunez, and the Giants are up 2-0. These Giants are throwing caution to the wind here, being very aggressive on the base paths. Bruce Bochy, I think, is the manager at this point. That's going to be a 4-6. That's going to be off Seth Lugo's card, and that's a strikeout. So that's his first out. Lugo's second strikeout of the game. Wait a second. That should have been Joe Panic. So yeah, that doesn't matter because it was off of Lugo's card. So there's one out here in the bottom of the second. The Giants are up 2-0. It's a 1-6, and that's a strikeout. So Cueto down on strikes. Out number 2, and now it's going to be Denard Span, the center fielder. He singled in his first at bat today. He's 1 for 1. That's going to be 6-6. 6-6 is going to be popped up to the left side. Out number 3. That's going to be the shortstop, Cabrera there. But the Giants pick up 2 big runs here on 2 hits in the bottom of the second. They lead at 2-0 going to the top of the third. Rivera, Lugo, and Reyes. Rene Rivera, the batter. 2-8, and that's a strikeout. Number 2 for Cueto. Seth Lugo is a 3 pitcher hitting card. And I've got that down to my left. 2-12. That's a fly ball lifted to right field. That's Hunter Pence there. 2 away. Top of the lineup now. Lineup turns over, and it's Reyes. Reyes flied out to center field. And it's 1-6, and that's a pop-up to the left side. Shortstop Brandon Crawford. Without number 3, we'll go to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Giants. It's going to be Pagan, Belt, and Posey against Seth Lugo. That's 3-7. And that's going to be a line drive base hit center field for Pagan. So Pagan is on with a single. Here's Belt. 6-12 off Lugo's card, and it's a ground ball right back to Lugo over to shortstop for 1. Back to first, not in time, so it's going to be a fielder's choice for Belt. And out number 1. We just got to report that our battery is low. What else is new? I bought a cable the other day, a 6-foot cable, and it ended up being defective. So let's try to get this around here. Plug this in. Get moving with this game. There's 1 out now. Brandon Belt on at first, and Posey. Posey had a above-average season, batting .288 in 2016 with 14 home runs. 3-4, and that's a hard hit ground ball right back to Lugo, over to second, back to first. 1-6-3 double play. So we go to the top of the fourth now. 2-0 Giants. It's going to be Kelly Johnson. Johnson struck out in his first at bat against Johnny Cueto. Here's the pitch from Cueto. It's 6-6. That's a fly ball lifted to right field. Pence moves back a few steps, makes the catch. Jay Bruce now. And it's 6-2, and that's a fly ball, but lifted to left this time. And that's Pagan, out number 2. And now it's Yoenis Cespedes, who was robbed, hit a line drive, but it was caught by Brandon Belt on a split roll. And it's 1-6. 1-6 is also a split die, so he's going to need a 1-3 for a single. Oh, he had the 3, and no, it's caught. Line drive is caught by the second baseman this time. So Cespedes is lined out both times. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Giants. It's going to be Crawford, Pence, and Nunez against Seth Lugo. Here's the pitch, 6-8, and that's ball 4. Crawford is on with a walk for the second consecutive time. Hunter Pence up now. Hunter Pence doubled Crawford home in the second inning, 3-11. That's a hard hit ground ball right at the third baseman. Reyes over to Johnson, back to Loney. 5-4-3 double play. 2 outs, nobody on, and it's Eduardo Nunez. Nice double play turned by the Mets. 2-11, and that's popped up right side. That's Johnson over there, and makes the catch. Go to the top of the fifth now. Kind of moving. This game is moving right along here. Low-scoring affairs tend to allow for speed of play, I found. And here's Loney, the pitch to Loney from Cueto. It's 4-9, and that's going to be a ball hit hard right up the middle and through to center field for a base hit. So Loney's on with a single. See if the Mets can get something going here. Granderson has good power, 237 average with 30 home runs in 2016. He reached on an error and then was thrown out at the plate trying to score on a Cabrera double in the second inning. Here's Granderson, and it's going to be a 6-5, and that's a ground ball to second base. Loney moves over to second. Panic throws out Granderson for out number 1. Cabrera, he doubled in his first at bat, and that's a 4-6 off Cueto's card, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Cueto. out number 2. Now it's up to Rene Rivera with a runner in scoring position. And it's a 6-2, and that's a fly ball lifted to left field. Angel Pagan moving to his right, squeezes it for out number 3. The Mets leave one on here in the top of the 5th. It's still 2-0 Giants. Go to the bottom of the 5th. It's going to be Panic, Cueto, and the top of the order, Span. Here's the pitch from Lugo, 6-6. And that's popped up to the left side. Cabrera calling for it. 1 away. Johnny Cueto up now. He struck out in his first at bat. And that's going to be 5-8. And that's popped up to the right side. Loney over. Waits for it. And that's 2 outs. Span is up. 3-8. That's a hard hit ground ball right at Cabrera. He feels it, guns it to first, and gets Span by a step. Out number 3, 3 up, 3 down. In the bottom of the 5th, we go to the top of the 6th. 2-0 Giants. It's going to be Lugo leading it off here in the top of the 6th, and we're going to let Lugo bat. It's going to be 3-3. It's a ground ball right at Belt. Takes it himself. 1 away here in the top of the 6th for the Mets. Next we have Jose Reyes. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and that's going to be 4-8. 4-8. Oh, and that's line drive. Oh, we don't know. That's a line drive for sure. We're going to have to check and see. It's a split die, and that's a 15. That's lined and caught by the first baseman, Brandon Belt. And it's we're in the top of the order. It was Reyes batting, and then Kelly Johnson now, 2 outs, and it's 1-6, and that's a ground ball right at Crawford. He feels it, guns it to first. Out number 3, 3 up, 3 down. In the top of the 6th, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Pagan, Belt, and Posey against Seth Lugo. It's going to be 6-5. 6-5 is a strikeout, so Pagan down on strikes. That's strikeout number 4. Belt up next. And it's 6-6 off Lugo. 6-6 is popped up to the left side. Shortstop Cabrera, out number 2. And Buster Posey. Posey's 0 for 2. 1-10. And that's popped up to the left side again. Cabrera. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the top of the 7th. It's going to be the Mets, Bruce, Cespedes, and Loney. Here's a pitch to Bruce. It's 4-7 off Cueto. 7's a strikeout, so Bruce down on strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Cueto. Out number 1. Cespedes up next. He's been robbed twice with 2 line drives. 1-7. That's a fly ball lifted deep left field. Back goes the left fielder Pagan and makes a nice running catch. Just got under that one. And it's Loney. 6-6 fly ball lifted to right. And that's going to be Pence for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 7th. 2-0 Giants. Going to the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Crawford, Pence, and Nunez against Seth Lugo. And it's 2-5. And that's a line drive base hit for Brandon Crawford. He's reached base all 3 times. 2 walks and a single. Hunter Pence now. That's a 5-5. That's a strikeout. Number 5 for Lugo. Out number 1. It's going to be Eduardo Nunez, who batted .269 with 4 home runs in the 182 at-bats. The Giants picked him up at the end of the July. 5-11 at the trade deadline. 5-11. That's a ground ball X. Loney's a 3. That's a 5. And that's going to be an out with the runner advancing. So it's 3 unassisted for out number 2, and Crawford goes to second. It's going to be Panic now. And Panic batted .239, 10 home runs. That's a .410. That's going to be a fly ball lifted to right field. Bruce over, out number 3. Go to the top of the 8th now. Six, 7. And it's going to be off Cueto's card. A 7 is a ground ball, second base. X. Panic is a 1. So that's a 3 off of a 1. And that's an out. 4-3. Granderson grounds out. Cabrera is 1-4-2. Doubled and struck out. 5-8. And that's going to be a split die. And that's going to be line base hit for Asdrubal Cabrera. His second hit of the game. Rivera 2-8. That's going to be a strikeout. Number 5. And it's going to be Seth Lugo here in the, we're talking at the top of the 8th. We're going to bring in a pinch hitter for the Mets, see if we can get something going. Top of the 8th inning, pinch hitter. Going to see De Aza. De Aza will pinch hit for Lugo. Top 8. And then we got to grab a pitcher for the Mets. Got a couple of them warming up in the bullpen. That's a 1-4. A 1-4 is a ground ball right back to Cueto. And he feels his position over to first for the 3rd out. Go to the bottom of the 8th now. And it's 2-0 Giants. It's going to be Cueto leading it off. And we're going to have a new pitcher for the Mets. New pitcher is going to be... let me see who I have here. Created a card for a couple of pitchers. Haven't created a card for Smoker. I've got Josh Edgin and Gabriel Wainoa, I think is how you pronounce his name. We're going to bring in Goodell here. I have to create a card for Smoker. I won't do it right now. I don't have my laptop to look it up. Eric Goodell. Eric Goodell was 2-2 with a 4.54 ERA. He's going to come in to pitch. And it's going to be Johnny Cueto leading it off for the Giants. And it's going to be a 6-11. 6-11 is a fly ball right field. X, the right fielder, is Bruce, who's a 3, and that's a 12. That's going to be a single, and it's misplayed by Bruce, allowing Cueto to go to second. So it's a single, and an E9 allows Cueto to reach second base, and now it's going to be the top of the order for the Giants. 2-0 ball game. So we have Reed and Blevins in the bullpen, and that's going to be all for Goodell. We're going to see Jerry Blevins pitch to Span, lefty versus lefty. Lefty versus lefty. And it's going to be Blevins, who was 4-2 with a 2.79 ERA. He's a lefty specialist. And he's going to come in. And we're going to race. We expected Goodell to get through the inning, but that was not to be. So we're going to race the yellow that we kind of used yellow for Goodell. And going to use orange for Blevins. Here's the pitch to Span. Cueto at second, 6-8. And that's going to be a split die line drive. And it's going to be caught by the first baseman, Loney. So it's line to Loney for out number 1. Here's Angel Pagan. Pagan is a switch hitter. We're going to leave Blevins in there. 3-5. And that's going to be a split die, and that's going to be hit into the gap, and that's going to be trouble. And that's going to roll all the way to the wall. They're going to wave Cueto home. And that's a 3, and he's safe. So it's an RBI RBI double. So 3-5. No, it's going to be an RBI. Yeah, it's an RBI double for Angel Pagan, scoring Johnny Cueto. Third run for the Giants. Third run of the game. It's going to be Brandon Belt now. Belt, a right-hander. Lefty. He's facing Blevins. Here's the pitch from Blevins. It's a 3-8. A 3-8 is ball 4. Buster Posey now coming to the plate with runners on first and second, only one out. And it's going to be Reed. Reed is going to be called in from the bullpen for the Mets. Addison Reed, who had a tremendous season. He was 4-2 with a 1.97 ERA. He's going to come in and face Dexter Posey. I'm sorry, did I call him Dexter? Buster Posey. Buster Posey against Reed. And here's the pitch to Buster. And that's going to be a 5-5 off of Reed's card. And that's a strikeout. So out number 2 now. And it's Brandon Crawford. Crawford is 1 for 1. He's reached base all 3 times. Walked twice, scored a run, and singled. And here's the pitch to Crawford. And it's 5-6. And that's a strikeout. So Reed comes in and does his job. Strikes out both batters he faces. But the Giants pick up their third run of the game. They lead it 3-0, go to the top of the 9th. Top of the 9th is going to be the top of the order. It's going to be Reyes, Kelly Johnson, and Jay Bruce. Reyes is 0 for 3. He's flied out, popped up, and lined out. Here's the pitch from Cueto, 4-12. And that's a ground ball right back to Cueto. He feels his position, out number 1. We're potentially looking at a complete game here. This is equivalent to almost an old school no-hitter. They're so unusual. And it's 1-6. Here's the pitch to Johnson. He swings and hits a grounder to the shortstop, Crawford. Feels it, guns it to first, and gets Johnson by a step. 2 away now. The Mets are 1 out away from losing their 56th game. And it's a 1-6 to Jay Bruce. A 1-6, that's lifted to deep center field. Back goes the center fielder Span to the track, to the wall. He looks up. It's out of here. Bruce connects. Home run. 3-1, the score now, off of Cueto. And I bet you Cueto wants that pitch back. And it's Cespedes now, 3-1 Mets. They score their first run of the game here on the Bruce home run in the top of the 9th. And Cespedes is coming to the plate. Cespedes has been robbed twice and flied out. He's lined to first, lined to second, and then flied out to left. He's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Cueto trying to go the complete game. Cueto's allowed 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And it's 5-5. That's off Cueto's card. And that's a swing and a miss. And Cespedes goes down on strikes for the 3rd out. And that'll do it. Mets lose it by a score of 3-1. The loss is going to go to Lugo. The win is going to go to Cueto, who goes a complete game, pitches a 4-hitter against the Mets. Strikes out 6. Walks none. Allows 1 run, the home run by Jay Bruce. And that's all she wrote for tonight's game. Let me tell you, I have a lot of time invested in this 122 games that I played with the Mets. Let me show you. I've gone back through the season. I've collected data on DeGrom and Matz. DeGrom is actually, let me see, I wrote it somewhere. I wrote it somewhere. Oh, I think I wrote it on the last, yeah, I wrote it on the last scorecard. DeGrom is 13-5 at this point. And we'll compare and contrast. So when they come to pitch, tonight it was Lugo. I'm not keeping track of Lugo. He only had 8 starts. But as you can see, I'm keeping track of DeGrom, Matz, Cologne, and Syndergaard. So that ought to be a lot of fun, kind of tracking their win-loss record and their ERA and that sort of thing. I've got their walks and their strikeouts and their hits allowed. And then for the batters, I'm keeping track of Cespedes, who went 0 for 4, so I got to write that in. Keeping track of Cespedes and Cabrera. Cabrera was 2 for 3, one of my best hitters. Reyes went 0 for 4. Jay Bruce hit another home run. So far with the Mets, he's hit 1, 2, 3. That was his 6th home run as a Met in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 games. Not too shabby. Granderson played. He's back in the lineup. He was 0 for 3. He's got a lot of 0-4s. He's had a tough season, batting probably 220, 210. So that's it. So we're going to keep you abreast of the different stats as we go. I have a lot invested in this season, 122 games so far. So I'm being pulled to do other things in other directions, but I have everything set up. My mind is set up. I've got all the data that I'm keeping, and I'm afraid that if I put all this stuff away and move away from it, it'll be tough to get going with it again. I got to think about that. I'd have to put the cards away. I have them all out. It's a 4-game series. I played 2 against the Giants so far. I have everything in order here, and I'm keeping track of all this stuff, and I'm afraid that I don't want to. So anyway, April and May up to August. So I've basically done this up to August pretty much. And we're playing in August. We got another 10 days of August. So probably another start or 2 for DeGrom, another start or 2 for Matz, Cologne, and Syndergaard. We can look at Cologne right now. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 4 and 3. 4 and 3, and before that he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 9, and he's got 4 losses here. 9 and 7. Oh, he's got a couple more here. 9 and 7. He's 9 and 9. 9 and 9. He hasn't. He's had a few tough outings of late, but he hasn't gotten a lot of run support. You know, here he's given up. You can go down the line. He's given up 3 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 1 run, no runs, 1 run, 3 runs, 2 runs. He lost that game. Gave up 1 run here. Lost that game. So he's had some tough luck. And you know, win-losses, the way it works with pitchers and replays, win-losses, you can never really count on the win-losses because it all depends on the run support. You know, if the pitcher's getting, you know, heavy-duty run support, no matter if he gives up 4, 5, 6 runs, he's going to win the game. He's going to get credit for the victory. So, or if you're pitching very, very well, which the game is meant to kind of simulate that. If you're pitching very well and you don't get the run support, you know, well, you're going to get a losing record. You know, I try to replay the Mets Seaver season of 1969. I had a ton of fun doing that using History Maker Baseball, and I believe he got to 20 wins. I'm not sure if he got to 20 wins. But it was really tough getting to 25 wins because everything had to go perfect in every start, you know, for that to happen. So anyway, that's just basically a little bit of information on what I'm doing in this replay. 122 games, so I'm 40 games away from completion of this season. But I'm considering I'm also playing the 76 APA season using the Yankees, and that was the first season I ever played with APA. And as a tabletop guy, you know, a sports guy, and I like to go. That's real nostalgic for me, and playing those players and remembering the players from '76 and so forth. That's a lot of fun. This is fun as well. So you know, I'm kind of right now. I'm dealing with this. I have very little time right now. There's a lot going on at work, so I'm coming home pretty exhausted. So I'm trying to get one game in. Sometimes I'm exhausted and don't have the opportunity to get to the table. But I'm trying to do at least a game every other day. And on weekends, I'm trying to do 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. So to catch up for the days that I missed during the week, to try to do a game a day, play a game a day. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now with my replay. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'm going to sign off now. It's Combat Painters Tabletop Baseball Channel for the spring-summer of 2018, and that's all. The Mets lose this one to the Giants. They won the first game. They lose the second game, so now the series is tied at 1 apiece. It's a 4-game series in August. They're playing the Giants in San Francisco, and it's a lot of fun. The next game I have the pitching matchups is going to be game number 123. It's going to be Cologne, Big Sexy versus Moore. I think it's the Moore that played with Tampa. Originally, I can't remember his first name. He was a Tampa pitcher. Let's take a quick peek at what his name was. Name Moore. I don't have him here. I don't know why I don't have him. Oh, because this is okay. That's not. Oh, Matt Moore. There it is. He was. I'm pretty sure he was with the Tampa Bay Rays with Joe Madden. 2016, he was 13-12 with a 4.08 ERA, and he's going to be facing Big Sexy Cologne. And we'll talk about how Sexy's doing with his ERA. We'll add up the numbers and look at his ERA. And look at his strikeouts and compare it to how he was. I'm not going to be able to compare. I compare it to what he did this season. I'm just not going to be able to compare what he did up to this day, because takes a lot of work, and can't keep track of all this stuff. I want to see if I can use some computer program to do my next setup, so I'm still going to keep the paper scorecard, but I want the program to at least keep my my stats for me, I guess, because it's a lot of work. I really enjoy rolling the game and seeing the ups and downs and how the players perform, and that's really the fun part to me. And it's okay. I like the manual scorecard. Old school. I have no problem with that. But hey, if I can keep track of more stats and more guys, and that'll be fascinating to look at, and it'll be a lot more fun with the fact that I don't have to keep every single number and add up all the numbers and all that, because that's really time consuming, and I really don't have the time for that. It's hard to find that time right now to do that. And with the technology that'll do that for you, that's a lot of fun. So convenient. So anyway, I'm signing off. Have a great night, and talk to you soon. That's Giants 3, Mets 1.